Spain is a trap. Catalonia is a trap. Barcelona, it's also a trap. Why? Because they dazzle you with this beauty, with these streets, with this architecture. They say, Antonio Gaudí, come and see all the majestic masterpieces he created. However, we forget that if you stay more than 6 months in this country, you can pay up to 50% in taxes. 40, 45, 50, 52%. Spain is a beautiful place to visit, but be very careful. Think strategically if you want to spend more than 6 months here. If you want to bring your children to these schools, if you want to buy a home or establish a company, Sociedad Limitada, because Hacienda, the tax offices, it's gonna crash you. It's gonna request you to work 6 months of the year for them. So you have to be strategic. You have to know how laws in other countries work, so you can create enough substance to then invoice between companies to create optimized tax structures. If you know, you know. So this is what first-class citizens we are all about. And this is actually one of the biggest challenges we have, because our clients love Spain, love Catalonia, and they say, how can we make it to live here and not pay as many taxes? So that's why we hired some lawyers that are magicians, law savants, connoisseurs, that know how to do this magic. But again, it's something that you want to plan properly, because otherwise, this beauty can come with an expensive price tag.
Spain is getting more regulated. The EU is getting more strict. They're enforcing stupid rules. They are making you drive slower. They are instilling fear in you by putting cameras on the red lights. You can't do this. Spain is getting gay. The EU is getting gay. And it is something that makes you think, where can I escape? Where can I plant bases when I need to recharge? When I want to connect with who I am and with the things that I love to do? When I want to shoot guns? When I want to own a shooting range in my home, build it there? When I want to drive faster? When I don't want to be enforced by this shitty rule or this other, that's bullshit. So, EU, Canada, the USA, Australia, UK. Good for visiting, good for tourism, but is it really the place that you see yourself raising a family? Is it the place that you will feel free? Is it going up or is it in decadence? Think about this, because the place that you call home today might be inhospitable in a matter of 5 to 10 years. And if you start planning the change, then you wish you had started 10 years earlier. So it's better, as I always say, 1 year too early than 1 day too late. What the heck is going on with Catalonia and Spain? We have the two flags over here waving together, but what the heck is going on? A Catalan is gonna tell you what's going on. But actually, it's not the video that you expect. I'm not gonna start argumenting, oh, this is Catalan side, Spanish side, they did this to us and this and that. Oh, screw that. First-class citizens. Look, I don't fucking care about what happened with them. I couldn't care less. Why? Because eventually I can plant many more flags than these over here. What I care about is I can speak the two languages, I can enjoy Barcelona, I can enjoy Costa Brava and call it somewhat home because of the amount of time that I spent here, that I can use the Spanish passport, that I can have the cultural heritage and the beauty of Catalonia, Barcelona, nature here. But then I decided in 2019 to quit the tax system in Spain. Stop paying ridiculous 45, 50, 52% in taxes. It's ridiculous. I was in the highest tax bracket and I left. I'm also bothered by all these people like arguing between each other. Like, I'm just like flying somewhere else. I'm just focusing my energy in places that truly matter. Like, I'm building a portfolio of passports, 7 passports in the coming years that are expected and strategically planned one after the other, starting with residencies that turn into citizenship later on, investments here and there. Residencies, 8 right now. Thinking about real estate, thinking about where do I want to raise my kids? Where do I want to build a family? Where do I want to have homes off-grid, self-sustainable? And this is something that I want to instill in you as a first-class citizen. Yes, you can care about politics, of course, geopolitics, how the world is moving, but when you are diversified, the risk mitigates. And this is something that I understood early on. I took a plane out of this territory, started traveling the world, and now I can come here and enjoy and also be affected by the things that don't work well in this country, which are many. However, I know that I have choices. Because if you only have one passport, if I only had one Spanish passport, I have none. However, by having multiple, I have choices. I don't feel trapped. And I can choose where to pay taxes, this amount of taxes, 0. Keep my money in my pocket, and then come here less than 6 months a year, enjoy, and not worry about anything else. How to differentiate a newbie traveler from a pro and seasoned one? There's one question that allows you to spot right away the amateur. Just one question. Ask that person, how is that country? How are people from insert the country? How are French people? How are Mexican people? How is Mexico? How is Spain? It's so funny when you start hearing answers like, oh yeah, French people are like pa 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 pa, Mexicans are like pa 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 pa. It's so funny to me because look, we are now in Catalonia, right? Completely different from Spain, like night and day from the rest of Spain. And you go to France and it's completely different. You go to Andorra, it's completely different. And it's so funny when we were in the mountains with my friend, we were hiking and we were in one part of the Pyrenees and then we were crossing like 20 kilometers to a refuge and spending night in a refuge on the French side. And the food, the drinks, the desserts, it's completely different. It's so funny. We were being served a drink, for example, water in France and wine at the table in Spain, or the dessert came directly in Spain, but in France they brought some bread and cheese before the dessert. And it's so funny to realize that all of these limits, all of these borders are created by the human mind. Like somebody took a time to say, okay, from here to here, we're gonna draw a line. Like seeing some maps, especially in Africa, like straight lines, or states in the United States, like with a ruler. This is one state, this is another one. Crazy, right? So if we are gonna play this funny game of politics and this is one country and this is another country and fucking San Marino, fucking Vatican City, come on, like that's a country because they wanted to make it a country, or Andorra or Monaco, all of these places. Let's play this game then. You know, let's move from Brazil to Paraguay, cross 20 kilometers and go from paying 30% in taxes to 0% taxes on all foreign income. Let's play this game, you know? And this is something that pro travelers, pro masters at geographic freedom, yeah, we use all the time. We know that this is just a game. The flags is just like, it's a game that we are playing. We are all agreeing, but you know, we get educated differently, we believe in different things, and what separates us is nothing. Literally, when you go to nature, you go to the mountains, the animals that are in one side of the border or the other side of the border, there's no border.
Instead, only try to realize the truth.
What truth?
There is no spoon.
It does not exist. You walk and you don't see any difference. So going to the mountains, going to the Pyrenees, going to all of these spots like triple borders, Argentina, Paraguay, Brazil, Foz do Iguaçu, the big waterfalls, you realize that it's all a game. So use it to your advantage and listen to when people say, oh, Mexicans are like this. Probably they are just showing out, like sharing with you who they are. They see in others reflections of who they are. Oh, French are arrogant, or Mexicans are lazy, or this is whatever. Mexicans are hard workers. I've heard that both sides of the coin. It just tells you more about the person answering the question than the culture itself. So think about it. Ask the right questions and you're gonna find out about people. It's just a matter of the right questions. The right questions define the quality of your life. Great questions, great quality of life. How can you ask better questions? To spot scams when immigration officers try to sell you a residency program and boom, they will disappear and ghost you after you pay. Or how can you spot, some bullshit? This bullshit detector gets trained with time. So think well, ask the right questions, and you're gonna be good. Then you're gonna come to Spain or Catalonia And you're gonna say, wow, Spain is great. Where were you in Spain? You know, with whom? Who are you? And you know, the more positive you are as a person, the more you're gonna enjoy everywhere in the world, even if you land in Afghanistan or Syria or places people say it's are bad or dangerous or see you in the next one. So here we are with first class citizens. Last minutes of the night, the conversation shared here, the amount of knowledge, the connections, incredible. And updating, because actually it's not the first meeting, it's multiple meetings, one after each other, that we build this relationship in person. We connect through the internet, but we meet here because that's where you truly get to know somebody, where you get the updates and you develop something that it's really a matrix, it's complex, and it's the beauty of it. Because then, when you need something, when we talk about the Rolodex, yeah, beautiful to say, yeah, my list of contacts, but how many contacts in your list, when you call, they're gonna pick up your phone? When you ask for a favor, they're gonna say yes. The difficult immediately, the impossible taking a bit longer, and miracles by appointment. Let's end the table and finish up this meeting today. First class citizens, we do things differently. We build networks, we trust people, we build strong bonds. As you could see here in Barcelona, when we are meeting at the rooftop of Azul, and we discuss passports, residencies, bank accounts, where you can create your new homes, your new bases to be safe. In times of difficulty, not gonna lie, then you can see how we train. When we visit places like Barcelona, we connect and train together to become the hunters, not the prey. We use these moments as well, not to be just tourists, oh, this is beautiful, but to create specific connections and go to places that then in the future will be helpful to our clients. We create grids, and this is something that is slowly cooked. It's something that is brewed like a tea to perfection, like Sagrada Familia, built over years, over decades, but then to last over centuries. So we take the inspiration from all of these geniuses, all of these architects, all of the people that are in the same wavelength, in the same frequency, to create something unique. If you can see that a city is connected with buses, metros, taxis, that's great. However, you also want to rely on something private, on a strong brotherhood that in case of difficulty is gonna take care of you. We are gonna take all care of each other. That's why, yes, we trust banks, but we also have crypto. That's why we use commercial planes, but we also invest and talk with private jet companies. Because we want to be in both sides. One, that it's convenient, but when that route is no longer available, we have plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E. So I encourage you to as well, when you travel, seek meeting the right people. The guy who knows the guy, and always leave that place knowing a couple of things more about a couple of things. Gentlemen, this is Barcelona edition of First Class Citizen, and I encourage you to share with your friends, to subscribe, to keep following this, because in the next series, you're gonna see how we like to explore it, what activities we like to do, and how we tap into a different reality than many other people. We want to invite you in this journey, and if you are in the same frequency, well, join us, because it's gonna be a fun ride.